During the First World War, the Battle of the Somme lasted 5 months, finally ending on the 18th of November 100 years ago. During that time, 1.3 million lives were lost, with many British and Commonwealth soldiers of the campaign buried abroad at Thiepval. But there are also those buried in Britain who made it to hospital but didn't recover from their injuries. One of those men is recorded as buried at the Commonwealth War Graves site at Netley, and now research by local schoolchildren has found links to more. A commemoration event was held at the Royal Victoria Country Park, with the schoolchildren sharing the memories of some of the soldiers' lives. Shan Robins reports.
As part of a project to bring alive Netley Military Hospital, a team funded by the Heritage Lottery Fund and Hampshire County Council tapped into the Commonwealth War Graves Commission Living Memory Project.
We've worked with local schools, 2 local schools, Wilden and Hamble, to investigate and find out about soldiers that were buried in the cemetery here that weren't actually registered on the Commonwealth War Graves Commission register.
The Commonwealth War Graves Commission sent me their UK Somme casualty spreadsheet, and it only listed 1 burial here, and we thought it was really strange because we know we've got about 97 burials from the period of the Battle of the Somme. So the challenge was then to try and find soldiers who'd been wounded in that battle, brought back to Netley, but who had then died.
And what have the children and yourself managed to find?
It's really exciting. We've found 10 more soldiers who we've been able to confirm links to the Battle of the Somme, and about another 5 or 6 where we think they were probably wounded there, but we need to still do a bit more digging around to make sure. One of the students, it was really lovely. They came down to the cemetery to find the headstone of the soldier they'd researched, and the name was just listed as J McLeod on the headstone. And the student said, it's really nice because other people looking at it, it's just a name on a headstone, but to me, I know that his name was Jack. I know who his parents were, I know when he left to go to the front, and I know the battle that he was wounded. So to me, he's a real person.
I found it quite interesting that he was from Canada, and also that his name, well, at the time I only had J McLeod, and I was like, I wanted to know more about him.
What did you have to do to find this?
We had to go through all different websites, look up their numbers and find out any little piece of information we could, and try and research it in different I don't know what you call it, where they have different military records and everything like that. We had to look through all of them. Sometimes it took a really long time just to go through every single one to try and find who you're looking for.
Did you not get bored at any point from the beginning to the end?
No, I think because every time it did take a long time to find a little piece of information, but every time you made it a little bit more of a breakthrough, it just all became worth it again, and you just wanted to keep finding out more. I found out that his name was Jack McLeod. I found out that he left his widow at home after he died, called Marion. I also found out he was days off his 30th birthday, and that he probably fought in the Mucky War, and that is where he sustained his final injuries. And I think it makes it more compelling and more interesting to find out about someone who actually gave up their life for us.
Hamble School have contributed to this project by writing poetry based on the information that they've researched and the soldiers and World War I poetry. It's really important for this project about the Netley Military Hospital to involve the local schools and the local community, and over the next year we'll be trying to get volunteers involved on a whole range of projects.
I think it's really important that people know that there are casualties from World War I and World War II buried in this country. Obviously a lot of the focus is on those big war cemeteries over in France and Belgium, and I think it's really important that people remember the people who are buried here and that their stories don't get forgotten.
It's been absolutely fantastic on this first outcome of the project to work with these school children who we hope will remember this and carry on the memory of World War I, the Somme and the military hospitals here in years to come.
It's important to remember these people and that they did have a life. They weren't just names on a gravestone.
This is Shan Robins for That's Solent.